Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sportycast YouTube channel. This is episode 163 of the 343 podcast. I'm your host this evening. My name is Riaz Parker. I'm joined, of course, by the brethren. I guess we are cubed, I suppose, this evening once again without Jason. Unfortunately, Jason's icing his legs. I suppose he'll be icing his legs for a good couple of weeks to come. After running that 21 Ks on the weekend. But Siad, nice to you to join me this evening. Welcome. How are you doing?
Yeah, no, all good. I owe you one. You tried to get me on Friday. I couldn't make it. So I'm here today to support you.
I appreciate that. AF, are you good, bud? The tough times, or are you still feeling positive?
I'm going to hand this over to Meeks because I think he articulated better than I would, because I'm just crying on the inside after waiting almost 1 full month to watch my team play, and then that happened. So
tell us about your change in camera angle. I see something looks different in the background there.
Changed my entire setup. So
okay,
very
so
nice.
Now I have 2 doors to come out of when I make my entrance there. I have a choice.
I'm still waiting for you to do it though. Like you are all talk. So.
Look, that exposes me in more ways than one, so let's move on swiftly. Also, we have joining us this evening our friends of the channel, of course. We love having them. And it's the Manchester Derby. It's Migs and Ash. How are you guys doing this evening, Migs and Ash?
Great, thanks.
Good,
And yourself.
thanks.
Thank you for having us.
Nah, it's I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, we're gonna talk.
You can be honest.
We're gonna talk.
It's okay not to be okay.
I appreciate that. And I need that kind of self-talk in my life. Thank you. I appreciate that. But it's lovely to have you guys on with us this evening. We're going to be talking, obviously, it's getting to the business end. We have 6 games left of the season. So we're going to be talking about some of the shock results that happened this weekend. Quite a few, in fact, that happened this past weekend. We're going to be talking about United. We'll be talking about Spurs. We'll be talking about City. And then, of course, we're going to preview some of the games that are coming up. 2 absolutely massive games this weekend. Of course, it's Chelsea, Manchester United, and a title decider. I would say I'm going to stake I'm going to put my foot in the sand, or I don't know what the correct saying is, the metaphor that I'm trying to find, but it's going to be the title decider. Hopefully,
we're just going to give it to you. Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you. Like I said, I'll take whatever I can get these days. But yeah, so we're going to be previewing those games when it comes towards the end of the show. But I want to start with a couple of things that happened this weekend. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Okay, let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's not talk about any of the big teams. Let's talk about the smaller teams. You know, let's talk about.
Is it Spurs?
Tottenham Hotspur, maybe. Let's start there.
Self-aware.
It's like he didn't want to say it. He was like trying to avoid saying the specific name.
If I didn't say it, you guys were going to out me for it. So let's go with Spurs. Ramiz, I'll just go straight to Ramiz, actually. Ramiz says that Tottenham can get a certificate for participation. We've gotten a participation certificate since I started supporting the club. So I would say yes, but then we're also going to get a certificate of relegation, which is something I'm less excited for.
Wow.
But
what a crazy sentence.
It is quite crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. But luckily I've come to terms with it pretty early. Like last year already, I was fully accepting.
You were practicing already.
Yeah.
That was when you were still winning games last year. So wow.
Yeah, before we
winning games.
Okay, but I mean, winning as best as they could in comparison to this year, given that there's been 9.
It's been over 100 days now. I don't know what winning is in the Premier League.
Wow.
Yo, you're going to have another Christmas before you win again. It's like a whole year almost.
Well, hopefully in the championship, we'll actually start winning more games. So hopefully it won't be that bad. But AF, let's come to you first. You know, my sympathizer, I would say one of my closest sympathizers that join us on the show on the regular. I'm not sure if you caught the game. Spurs obviously lost 1-0 to Sunderland. What are your thoughts on it? And obviously I haven't spoken about De Zerbi yet since he's been part of the setup. But do you think it was the right decision? And what do you think about the 1-0 bad loss?
I didn't watch much of the game. I probably caught like 15 minutes in total. But what I did catch
Good decision
was that penalty show. And I was like, shame, just give these guys something. Like, it's like everything is going against them. And yeah, but like, I mean, like from what I've seen in that 15 minutes, like you guys didn't look too bad. And I mean, De Zerbi only had like a few weeks to sort of work with these guys. He has about 6 games now left until the end of the season to try and turn things around. He could do a Harry Houdini and just sort of scrape through. I think that there was enough in that game to sort of fill the fans with some sort of optimism. Maybe it's just the hope that can kill you. Who knows?
Yeah. You know what, AF? I appreciate you because in times of need, you are there for me, and vice versa. When in times of need, when you need someone, I'm there for you as well. When
that was just because you love Ruben Amorim. That was the only reason why you would say any words of sort of backing for Manchester United. But those times are gone now, and.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like now we're in the top 4, so I don't really need it. But you can make me feel a bit better after Monday night. So
I will. Don't worry, I will. Migs, you wanted to say something?
I wanted to say I'm going to make you feel a bit worse because Spurs right now, the problem is not so much themselves, but the fact that the teams that they're competing to not get relegated with, West Ham and Forest, look far stronger.
Yeah.
And at the moment, Nuno is bringing out the best from those players. The win that they got over the weekend was a big win, big result. And I can see them fighting to stay up. And same with Forest. I think the problem isn't so much about you guys because I mean, it is obviously about you guys. You guys are the problem. Let's not forget, you guys are the problem. But the fact that you are relying on teams that have now been picking up very good results at the wrong time for you. And the game against Sunderland, you had to get a win. Even a draw wasn't like enough for you. Even if you did have positive moments in the game, like that loss, especially with De Zerbi's first game, you feel it as a fan. You guys are already checking the fixtures, championship, what it's going to be like, what stadiums you're going to have to go to, all these things.
Wild.
And I think the fact that the teams around you are doing well, Leeds beating Man United now 6 points ahead of you, it's not going to be so much about you, but about the other teams that I think is going to send you down.
There's just not enough time for you guys, I don't think. Like, there's not enough time. I think maybe if it had been a case of you didn't have... What was that other guy? The one that was there for like 30 days. Well, Igor. What? It was an Igor Tudor, right? Sorry, I'm so sorry. I forgot his name. I think if it had been a case of maybe De Zerbi coming in at that time, obviously I understand that he didn't want to take a job until after the summer and all that kind of stuff anyway. So I understand the circumstances, but in an ideal world, that would have been a lot more ideal. You would have had a lot more time to start. Now it's just like even more up, down, up, down, up, down. And now it's like, to really go up again. You guys need all the strength in the world, honestly. And I just don't know and I mean like mental strength. And I don't know, unfortunately, where that's going to come from.
Yeah, it's, I mean, players are finally starting to cry, which is good to see. That was lovely to see. And it only took them, it's about 12 games too late, guys. It's 12 games too late to start crying. I mean, it feels like the realization has only hit them now, which is terrible to think. And Migs, you're completely right. Like, I was honestly, between all the other 3 teams, I was banking on Leeds. I thought they looked the weakest out of the other 3 because West Ham are playing really well, so are Nottingham Forest. I was banking on Leeds. And that game on Monday really broke my heart, I will have to say.
You weren't the only one.
Because now 6 points behind, that's in a relegation battle, that's tough.
Yeah, 100%. And we play Leeds, we play Wolves as well. And I thought maybe if Leeds lost on Monday and we beat them, we'd be free. We'd be, in a good position. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Ziad, any words of consolation, from an Arsenal fan, to or from a fellow Parker to me, any consolation from your side?
No, nothing at all, man. Unfortunately, what I said, I think last week's episode, and we spoke about it a bit. But for me, with West Ham, I just think Jared Bowen will do enough to keep West Ham up. He has the experience, especially in a relegation fight. He's been there for a while. He's obviously got those West Ham ties with his in-laws, so he's part of the fabric of West Ham United, and they're not gonna just go down without a fight. And you saw, I mean, he got 3 assists in their last game, and the same goes for Forest. They score goals, and they got good players that can create goal-scoring opportunities, which ultimately seems to be Spurs' biggest issue. And I thought, when I watched a decent amount of the game against Sunderland, they played fairly well. Unlucky goal to concede. It was a massive deflection, and really nothing else that troubled them too much in that game. But that inability to create enough in front of goal, enough quality, and it seems like the forwards aren't really the ones you want in a relegation battle. Whereas if you look at Leeds, like Mix was saying, Leeds are playing well. You got guys who are up for the fight, man. There's Calvert-Lewin, Okafor. And Leeds have shown this season they actually play good football. So they know pushovers. And I think ultimately it's going to just come down to Spurs not being able to score enough goals in comparison to the others, which will see them go down, unfortunately. I did like Spurs midfield, I will say that. It was interesting to see Bergvall, Gray, and Gallagher together. There could be something there, but like everyone else has been saying, there just isn't enough time to see what it can actually give them. And I've spoken about Archie Gray a lot in the past. I really like his qualities. So it'll be interesting to see how he develops wherever that may be. But yeah, I just don't think there's enough time and enough goals for Spurs to make a run here. They might need Everton Richarlison if they want to push for survival, because that guy scored goals. He went on this hot streak. So you either need that. Otherwise, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it is going to be tough, and I just want to say now, in case anybody out there is actually watching, Archie Gray, he's not going anywhere. Please don't approach him.
What about Mickey van der Ven? That's what I want.
He can go for lucky. He can be gone. I'm done with him. I'm done with Romero. I'm done with all of them. To be fair, there's a couple of them who can stay. Archie can stay. Lucas can stay. Danso can stay if he wants to. Tal can stay. And
I don't think any of them is going to want to be playing in the championship, to be honest.
Well, those guys are young. They can still build it up. They can hope that we can promise them 1 year in the championship and you can be back in the Premier League, and otherwise they can leave. But stick Archie Gray with a captain's armband, put him on there, tell him, look, I want to build a team around you. And those 4 or 5 guys that I just spoke about, we can keep Kinski as well. I love Kinski. He can stay as well. Build a team around them if De Zerbi is still the manager, and I think we can come up within a year. Hopefully, that's the plan. Unfortunately, I'm talking like we're really relegated, so that's quite sad. But in any case, other than that, if we stay up somehow, the owner's got to go, really. Austin saying Gallagher is the only one with no relegation clause. 200k a week in the championship. Hopefully he can be sold, because it was solely his fault that we conceded that goal on the weekend. He was, for a guy who runs a lot, he surely runs without any sort of heading. He looks like he's jogging everywhere around the field, which is shocking. I was so upset about it. He really let the guy run straight past him, and it's a right back. Surely you have that covered. But in any case, Spurs. All of us are saying it looks bleak, and I agree. Hopefully, by some miracle, they actually need 9 points to kind of, I'd say around 9 points out of 6 in 6 games to kind of hope for the best, in order to have a chance of staying up. Otherwise, it's downhill from there. Also, with all these injuries now, Romero's injured again. Kudus was injured before the game. That's just goes from bad to worse. Yeah, 100%. Jason, thanks for popping by, my friend. I appreciate you. Get those legs sorted and start training for next year already, please. I'm sure it's necessary to start training now already. Those hamstrings aren't going to fix itself. But I appreciate you for stopping by. We move on then to the team who obviously destroyed my hopes and dreams, Manchester United. Besides my own team, obviously. Obviously, my own team destroyed my own
Was it
team.
our fault that you went the entire season playing the way that you did?
Fair. That is fair. But yeah, I was excited to watch the game, watch the whole game on Monday. Was surprised to see the way United, I think this is the first time that United have played this badly since Michael Carrick took over. And I think it was really down to, personally, I think it was down to the midfield. There was, without Kobe, I think there was a massive gap there in the midfield. Migs, your thoughts on the game? Where do you think you guys went a bit wrong?
Problem number one is starting a garbage in the middle already. That's you putting him next to Casemiro does not work. So he needs to start sitting on the side and watching and supporting like a cheerleader. I think that's the best thing for the club. Problem number one. Problem number two is United forget how to play when there's too much time in between games. It's happened this whole season. And every time we've played either on a Monday or any midweek fixture, for some reason, playing after everybody else or playing with few, we just struggle and it's so frustrating.
They can only play on the weekend. They can only get weekend results. It's like a weekend team here.
And to be sandwiched in between
Weekend
two results
special.
where there were bad calls as well. It's just so frustrating. I'm still not over the Bournemouth game, if I'm being honest, because this game against Leeds, I have to give props to Leeds. I think they played really well. And especially in that first half, they finished us. We were so lucky to only be 2 goals down. I was watching and I'm thinking like, what's going on? It surely can't just be because of Ugarte, because it wasn't just him that was messing up. Like it just, United looked like they were lacking energy as if they didn't have 24 days to prepare.
That's wild.
They were looking like a team that didn't have something to play for. Because, I mean, we lost, but we still stayed in third. But it seemed like they were okay with whatever result, especially in the first half. When we went down to 10 men, it was exciting. The way we finished the game was great.
I don't understand that.
And why is it every time we play someone, when we need to score, there's goal line clearances and prime Manuel Neuer impressions come from the goalkeepers every time. It's so frustrating. It's like the goal line clearances. I'm not even joking. How many have we seen this season? And
That's
that was
crazy.
frustrating. But yeah, I'm so sorry we couldn't do it. It was annoying for us too, because we waited very long for that cock.
Yeah, and understandable. I know a few things about that. Ash, I want to come to you about something that happened in the game, that red card that Migs alluded to. What are we thinking? Are we thinking it's a red card? Do you think it's fair?
The hair pull, right?
Yeah.
See, let's be honest. The officials and VAR, everything has been so inconsistent, and it honestly seems like it's getting worse. There was even we were looking at examples, because you can imagine how many examples he was showing me to show how Man United, like, look what keeps happening
against
so
you guys.
I've seen all that information.
You should have gotten a red hair pull on Semenyo.
That's what I was going to say. So there was a scenario in which his hair was pulled. And then,
same ref, by the way.
Yeah. So, and you read the thing again, he's provided me with everything. You read the thing and it's like basically saying that it's subjective, right? But as the ref, you need to have the same subjective call then. Which one is it? Which one is it? Yeah. Is pulling hair violent conduct across the board? Like, even if it just kind of happened, whoopsie daisy, just don't do that kind of thing. I don't know. But I can understand the frustration from Man United's side, because looking at a lot of the calls, obviously you guys have suffered a lot because of it, but there have been so many across the board. But for you guys to go back to back having problems in those games, having bad calls in those games, it makes a difference. Also, and you're going to keep dropping points like this.
What led to him reaching out in the first place? It was getting it. The tussle was, he was hit first and then he stretches out. And that wasn't even the thing that pissed me off the most. The thing that annoyed me was their first goal, because Yoro gets a in the face, so blatant, they don't even check it. And I don't know how that was given. It was like they just brushed past it like it was nothing. And that annoyed me, because that led to a goal. The red card, I know we played better after we were down to 10, but still, obviously, that's frustrating, because now we don't have Martinez, we don't have Chelsea, we don't have Maguire against Chelsea as well. Yeah. And that's 2 big losses at centre back, which is an important position for us.
Yeah, true. Rami saying eyes on the ball, hand wasn't even gripping the hair as much as it was sliding. That is true. I think he actually meant to grab the shirt, or was going for the shirt. He was trying to gain some balance.
He was trying to gain some balance, because he just got slapped in the face by Calvert-Lewin. The
Well,
fact that
you
Calvin
know,
Lewin
it's
stayed
what you
on and he didn't get sent off for that elbow, for that backhand, for like elbowing Ugarte in the ribs as well. There was like no intention to like play the ball at all in that moment. He looked over his shoulder, he saw Ugarte coming, and all he just did was just like elbow him into the ribs. And I mean, like, he stayed on for the entire game. No repercussions for him.
Yeah,
So-
look, the officiating I think has been shocking this whole season. To be completely
Yeah.
honest with you, officiating
For
and the
everybody.
rules. For everybody. I mean, in our game as well this weekend. I don't want to bring too much attention to it, but in our game as well. But I think that the inconsistency is just, if you want to say something, is just shocking.
Yeah.
Oh, is
And
that- you didn't
like,
want to say
yeah,
anything?
like Ramirez is also just like going back to that first goal as well. He
Yeah.
hit Jaro in the face, no attempt on the ball. Also hit Martinez in the face. So that's just what we spoke about now. But
It's
just
a
like
physical
every
game,
single
man.
match, it's like you don't understand, like you don't realize how bad the officiating actually is.
Yeah.
And then like last night in the Champions League game against Liverpool, PSG against Liverpool, and the referee was told to go to VAR. Other times in the Premier League, they would have been like, nope, that's enough for a penalty. That's 100% enough for a penalty. But in Europe, it's just like, okay, no, that isn't enough. That's not sufficient. It was literally just a graze and no penalty, play on. So the standard of officiating in the Premier League is so bad, and it's something that needs to be seen to, but it's never going to happen.
Yeah, Ziad, you know, I mean, we are all here being a bit soft in your eyes, I'm assuming, because you are that no-nonsense centre-back that's going to take the man first and then the ball. But in your eyes, tell me, is it just the physicality of the game, or are we actually like, is it a bother now, or is it the rules that we don't understand?
It's just the interpretation of the rules, like not Mix, Ash was saying earlier. It's like subjectivity, right? Like, how do you teach subjectivity? So you can imagine the training these refs undergo, and they get told all these different rules, and they just can't figure it out. Like, for me, also, it wasn't a red card at all. And I've always said this, right? I feel like the game's a bit too soft. A lot of good sliding tackles are punished, even though the player gets the ball. You get punished because of your follow through, whatever the case. But how else are you supposed to slide without touching a person? Like, it's ridiculous. I understand from behind that's obviously reckless and bad, and the high
Really
feet,
bad.
that's also difficult. But some of the other things, it's just tough. So yeah, the inconsistency across the board is a problem. I don't mind the physicality per se, because all teams do it. There's pulling, there's a whole lot of things, and ultimately one of the things, especially as a person who like to play in defense and was always slower than the attackers, you see what you can get away with, right, in a game. So you might have a early foul, and like, okay, ref doesn't give a foul or a yellow card, like, okay, I can push a little bit more here. So every ref is different, so you kind of have to play that up against the officials. But like AF was saying about VAR, just the implementation of it is so bad and so inconsistent. Everything looks worse in slow motion. That's a reality, right?
Yeah.
I'm all in
And freeze
favor.
frame.
Exactly.
Like-
So I'm in favor of go watch a replay, watch it in real time, and make a decision. Done. I don't want to
Yes.
see 500 replays, slow down frame by frame. Listen, in real time, what do you think? What's your opinion? Make the decision and move on. And I think the game will be a lot better for it. I know we say this and sometimes we don't really believe it, but I truly believe it. I'd rather take human error and we still have the same discussions afterwards anyway. This is worse because we have replay. We're stopping a game for 10 minutes and we're still coming out with a wrong decision
Yes.
that we would have
That's a
gotten
real waste
with
of
this
time.
human error anyway, right? And
Yeah.
we're still having the same conversation. So, they got to speed it up somehow and figure that part out. But yeah, I mean, we talk about officiating a lot. I don't see it getting better. And the reason I say that is because in what world does anyone want to be a ref? What's the pros of being a ref? Like, you have to go through the grassroots system where you get abused, probably left, right, and center. You make it to the top, and everything you do is scrutinized. right? Everything is on the internet forever. So like, unless you're a very strong character and very strong personality, it's a tough place to be. And that's why the best referees are either not making it to the top or they're not staying in the game, because there's other things they'd rather do with their time. And we see it in a lot of sports when it comes to officiating. So yeah, man, I wish I could be more positive about the officials and decisions and so on going forward, but we're still going to see a lot more in the coming weeks, unfortunately.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the unfortunate side of things. I think, like you said, the best refs aren't making it to the top, and we stuck with these ones. And unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. I think also we have a, like in the Premier League. I think AF, I was thinking about what you were saying now about the Champions League. I think the Premier League also, you get like this buddy system where all the refs look out for themselves, like if or each other. Sorry, the refs look out for each other. Where even if they make a mistake, it's fine. Like they come out in the week, they say, "Oh, this happened," or "Oh, that happened," but it's okay because of this, and this, or this, and this. They justify everything that they do, even if it's a mistake that they can never own up to the mistakes that they make.
Right.
Which is a problem. I feel like that's the biggest problem that we face, because then they just go out and do it again the next week, and that's ridiculous, to be honest.
If they all own up, we'll be left with no refs by the end of it. We might need some robo refs or AI to ref the games.
Could it be worse?
Look, another reason why I think things work a bit better in the Champions League is because a lot of these referees that they get are from the countries, different countries. So, say for example, it's an English team and a Spanish team, you'll have a Hungarian referee, for example. Yeah. Whereas in the Premier League, these are all people that support the clubs that are playing in the Premier League. And I think like a few months ago, I can't remember when it was last year, but like the David Coote incident is like proof of how much bias there is amongst referees. I mean, the fact that he hated Liverpool so much that you would like call the game like against them every single time. So, I mean, that's literally exhibit A of how many referees in the Premier League can be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's a real problem. But let's go to more positive things. Let's just leave the referees behind us, and let's go to more positive things. Ash, very, very good. I mean, decisive win on the weekend, 3-0 against Chelsea. Where people thought maybe it was up for debate. I mean, it was at Stamford Bridge as well. Difficult place to go. 3-0 victory. Very, very good.
Difficult for some, it seems. I'm just kidding. I say that now, but honestly, the whole first half, we did a watch along, and for that entire first half, I don't think I said anything else except I'm so frustrated. What are we doing? What is this? What is this performance? Because when you come off the back of the two performances that we saw, obviously the Carabao Cup final against Arsenal and then the 4-0 against Liverpool, could not have predicted that myself. Like even both of those fixtures, I think for both of them, I said 2-1 because I had expected the games to be much closer. But I think I was also kind of in denial a little bit that City are looking more polished than they have been. Obviously, those performances, I think it's the performances themselves that have really been quite distinct to people. And you've seen things like Ryan Shirky, doing his thing and showing how he's just fantastic. Like that guy just wants to play football. He doesn't care about anything else. Like he's just out there doing his thing. So it's really exciting to gain momentum at this part of the season. Like I'm not interested in being number one for most of the season, and then when it comes to when it matters, you're number two. Like that's just, it really doesn't, it doesn't make sense to me. But I am still fully aware of the fact that going into this weekend's game, if Arsenal even just get a draw, it's obviously a big thing for them. Whereas we desperately need the win. If we don't get the win, then it's like, it doesn't matter. It's still fully in their hands. So obviously I'm feeling very optimistic and I'm really happy with how we've been playing. And going into the game this weekend, I think between us and Arsenal, we're probably going in the most relaxed, if you were. I mean, the players are they're chilling for 2 days this week, like they're out there, the sun is out, they're living their best lives, whereas Arsenal have a really rough week. Like tonight is so big for them as well, because if they get knocked out of the Champions League, I mean, how could you possibly pick yourself up mentally after something like that, after getting knocked out of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup final? Like it's not good.
That'll be fine. they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. Well, tonight anyway. Tonight, I think they'll be fine.
I want them to lose in the final.
You want them to go to the final, to win the
And
final.
lose. Losing in the final is the worst.
Yeah,
so they must
he's
go
been
through
putting that
now.
out there.
They can win the semi-finals, then they must lose in the finals. Like that pain is just going to be like, it's going to be horrible.
Didn't that happen in 2006 against Barcelona?
Yes, it did.
20-year anniversary.
Yes, we up for it.
Wow.
Because then
they'll be second again in the Champions League as well. Think about it.
The symmetry there is very, very like alluring. I must say, it seems.
But it's high
like
risk.
Yeah. It is high risk because then a double is on the court.
That's high risk.
That is high risk. Ziad, talk me through how you felt after that game. Was it a difficult game? Bournemouth played really well. Bournemouth won a 13-12 game unbeaten streak. So it wasn't like ridiculous. I mean, out of the round, the possibility that they would pull up a result. But how do you feel after the game, especially after coming off the two kind of exits after the cups? Too risky to allow Arsenal in the final. Exactly. I'm with you. I'm with you.
To him. Don't you think it's going to build confidence if they make it to the final? Trust. They're going to feel like they can do anything then because that's a step above what they did last season.
They can't beat PSG. And who will be in the final? They will not beat PSG.
It's going to be Bayern, I feel like. But
you think so?
Anyway,
I don't think they'll beat
But they've beaten Bayern. So in their minds, they would be like, I believe.
But it's a final. That's a different story. European final.
Let's see.
It is true. We'll see what happens. Ziad, how are you feeling after the game? After a rough couple of weeks, are we still positive?
Yeah, it's still a long way to go. I mean, it hasn't been great, the results, but
I'll take that.
It's a long season. Like you do things in different phases of the season to be in this position, right? Yeah, if you come up short at the end, different story. But there's nothing I can really say. Everyone said it all already. The only thing we judged on is game 38. If we are top of the log after game 38, it doesn't matter. So I don't have anything to say because what can I say until the end of the season? Because we're only going to be judged on one thing and one thing alone. Did we win it?
Okay.
Or did we come second? So, there's nothing else to talk about until we get to the end, for me at least, because it's just the same things.
Then tell me about the game specifically. Where do you think you guys kind of went wrong in that game? Or where do you think you guys could have improved?
Everywhere. Yeah, look, it's a lot of back passes. I think that was the biggest issue.
Okay.
A lot of play in our own third instead of in the midfield and progressing the ball forward. So going through to tonight, I guess the biggest difference for me would be to see how we're able to progress the ball and get it into the final third and create better opportunities. That's all. I think the defense also a bit shaky because a lot of time is spent at the back, man. And when you play in a certain area all the time, the risk is higher, right? And if you look at Alex Scott's goal, for example, it's just someone switched off and then boom, suddenly you're in with a goal scoring opportunity. And that's generally what happens in this league. And for me, Alex Scott's fantastic midfielder. I wouldn't be surprised if he is on. I've been saying it for a lot of the season. There's a group of these midfielders, Alex Scott, Elliot Anderson, that are really, really good midfielders that are probably going to be on different teams come the next season. I thought they ran the midfield, which was the biggest difference for me.
Yeah, 100%. I think they did really well. I was the pitch.
Listen, this is a fair question.
Weren't you guys playing at home? Like, how can you be arguing about that?
I don't even know what the story is about the pitch.
Oh,
Gyökeres said that the pitch was too dry.
Oh, okay.
In his post-match.
He's not helping himself or you guys at all.
Like, there's just something, even if that's the case, one, you're playing at home. So you're basically just saying that your home ground, they didn't do enough. Like, literally. And then it's just like he kind of played into the media's hands because he said, the pitch is dry. And that's some of the, like whatever. There wasn't the only thing that he said, but it's the only thing that matters, unfortunately. People took it the same with Arteta with the Carabao Cup ball. And we lost the ball change. No. And Arteta actually said that afterwards. He said like to you, like you kind of learn as you go along what to say and what not to say. So yeah, it was just
The tough part for all these guys, and it goes for all teams again, generalizing here, but if you're gonna be in front of the media every second day, you're gonna say something stupid at some point.
absolutely.
And if you look at all these guys, and clubs get smart, right? They figure out who not to put in front of the mic, who to put there. They often keep guys away. You see it. I mean, it's literally the PR guy's job. And this is just not in football, across sports. Like I've seen in American sport, that actually send two guys with the one guy. His only job is to make sure the other guy doesn't say anything. And if they ask him a question, then he'll be, hold on, I'll answer that, and then keep that guy quiet, because some people's thoughts getting it into the world is a bit crazy. Like I actually saw online, I don't know if any of you have seen this, but there's a account that clipped basically all Dries Mertens' old tweets and pictures and stuff. And he says some wild things, and I like Dries Mertens before social media training. It's just a lot of crazy things out there. So it's also us, right? We want that demand where we want to hear from the players and the coach every few hours. Like at some point, you're gonna hear something stupid, and it happens with everyone, because what can you say, right? You literally run out of stuff to say. So the worst time to ask someone a question is after a loss.
Right.
Like what do you expect the people to
100%.
say? Let the guy walk off. Now you got in front of a camera and he has to talk for 50 seconds or 60 seconds, whatever. Now he says the generic stuff, the better team won or whatever. And there's some guys just like, screw it. The pitch was dry. It's like, okay. You're not helping yourself.
Better
Right?
fix it tonight, hey? Otherwise you're gonna have the same problem.
Yeah.
No, I think it'll be okay, man. I think
the sprinkler system is currently in overdrive to make sure that it's not dry.
But actually, speaking of the pitch, right? I think this was the issue with one of the Champions League games also. I think it's Atletico and Barca.
Yeah.
Right? Hansi Flick complained so much that UEFA actually stepped in to measure the grass to make sure that Atletico had cut it to the specified length, because there were talks that they were going to leave it a little longer, obviously, because, to slow down. That's home ground advantage. That's like, I mean, that's just
part of
what
the
you
game.
do,
They
right?
still went out.
They still went
But
out, exactly.
Let me not get onto that ref in that game either, because that was also very bad. But also that explains why we lost 5-2, I think, away at the Wanda Metropolitano. So I think the grass was too long.
Sure,
That's
the reason.
It makes a lot of sense, I think. This is a seamless transition into the first preview of the weekend, which is Arsenal Manchester City. It's going to be a massive game. It's like I said earlier in the intro. It's for me, it's a title decider. It's a 6-point swing. Although, like Ash said in the beginning, also Arsenal, I think, can get away with drawing the game. I think there is a scene where, for once, if Arsenal draw the game, then I think it could still play out in their favor. However, this is the problem that Arsenal have faced for the past couple of seasons. When they go into a game kind of on the defensive or not wanting to take it to City, they lose, which is the kind of problem that they face. When they actually go and they play well, like in the first 15 minutes of that final, I think it was, they played really well. And I think they can actually hurt City. But if they're going to go there and they're going to kind of be timid and just not want to lose, I think it's going to be a long day at the office for them. AF, what do you think about the game? Where do you think Arsenal need to be good in terms of kind of trying to hurt City? Do you think that they can go in for a point, or do you think they should try and go in and hurt City?
I think that they're going to go in to try and win this game. I think Arteta is a bit hurt wounded after that final loss. I think he learned a lot in that game of how to play against the City team.
Yeah.
So did Bournemouth and Southampton. They learned a lot. They also learned a lot. Bournemouth and Southampton learned a lot after that final.
Well, I'm talking about the fact that, like, you played against the City team. They didn't press at all in that game.
Yes.
And Arsenal didn't know how to play out from the back when that happened. So I think that that's one of the examples where he's probably like gone back to the drawing board. How are we going to, if City come back and do the exact same thing, how are we going to try to get around doing that? And I think that they are going to try to use as much width as possible, because the normal game is trying to go through the middle, being a bit more compact, putting the ball out to Saka if he's playing to get some width. but Saka hasn't. I don't think he's going to be fit for this game.
Injured.
I'm not sure. So yeah, Noni Madueke will play, and Madueke he stretches the pitch quite a bit as well. But I think that there's a bit of reluctance also to try and play the ball to him too much, because he keeps on running with the ball out of the pitch area. He keeps overrunning the ball. He doesn't have that much control. Whereas they'll go to the other side, play Trossard in. He has some more control. He has some more creativity as well. So he knows where the other players are. His awareness is so much better. But him also, he doesn't really stretch the pitch out that much wider. He tries to keep it a bit more compact, try to go through the middle, probably playing more in tandem with Ebere Eze as well. So yeah, I think that's going to try to be Arteta's game plan. Just try to change things up a bit from the League Cup final.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see if they can do that and what team is picked, because I think what's been a difference maker for City in the past couple of games is the back four of Nunes, Kusanov. Is it Diaz and O'Reilly? Okay, right.
Diaz is actually out. Diaz has been out. He's been injured.
So Guy's been a godsend. He's been amazing since coming there. I mean,
absolutely.
Talk to me about how good has the back four looked? Because I mean, Kusanov wipes up all the rest of it, and Guy is just a solid guy.
I am so excited about this new partnership pairing because we brought Mark Gay in, and I think the signings that we made in January was so important for even giving us an attempt at the title. I'll be honest, I did not think City were in a title race for very long. I think I only started thinking perhaps that's the case, honestly, when Arsenal dropped points to Bournemouth this weekend, because I was like, that wasn't a game that I expected them to lose. Because if everyone's looking at the fixtures, they kind of just all assume that Arsenal's going to win every game until the end of the season, especially at home, right? And I can understand why. I mean, when we did our predictions, we also predicted an Arsenal win. So the fact that they drop points there is obviously promising for us because, one, who's to say that they're not going to drop points before the end of the season again? We don't know that, right? It's kind of the same with us as well. Going back to the back four, though, sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent over there. I'm so excited about this centre-back pairing because Kusanov is amazing. Okay, that guy is so solid. He will slide into a challenge. He will bounce people. Like, he is a proper defender. And I think he has really come into his own. To have him with Gay as well, it's like we needed the what comes next anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, Diaz has signed a contract. He's still going to be there. Vardiol's been out. He sometimes plays a left back, can play a centre back. Like, we do have options. Right now, though, those are our two, and they are solid. And I think it's made such a big difference. But I also think the way in which Matheus Nunes has been playing and O'Reilly has just been an absolute game changer for us, because besides the fact he's playing at left back, I mean, that guy literally, he was the one that put the game to bed in the Carabao Cup final. Yeah. He scored on the weekend against Chelsea. So what we're also seeing is, as much as we have a really good backline now, I almost call them wingers, our fullbacks, because they do act like that as well. And we have a lot of, I mean, Matheus Nunes is always passing balls into the box, you know, like he offers a lot of service. So I think what we've been seeing with City, especially recently, is the fact that we've been playing the same starting 11. And I think it took a while to figure out what that was. Because, again, you bring guys in January and you need to integrate them into the team. And that's why I actually answered a question about, like, why in April do things seem to work for City. But I honestly think, like, if we look at it, it's the case of everyone is integrated now. There's a synergy that they've now built, because you've been building for the last few months since January. You've been integrating these new players in. And I mean, the fact that, for example, we haven't conceded either has been so exciting for me, because also clean sheets, not really a thing that I used to be like, yeah, we get clean sheets. But now it seems to be the case. So I'm like feeling a lot more confident, obviously, in our backline, because there was a time during the season where it was a mess. It was. So I feel like now we finally got it together, and what a perfect time to get your defense to be like proper, you know, and solid. I'm very excited about the future of our backline, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's really important is that kind of offset between the two, between Guy and between Kusanov, because I think Kusanov sometimes is too rash and Guy is the calm-headed one. So like to have the partnership between the two of them is kind of really good for City, and that's kind of what's helping them. It's kind of a complementary partnership. Migs, in this game, do we think that it's going to be a battle of the defenses, or is it going to be a Haaland versus Gyökeres thing? Is it going to be that Gyökeres is the pitch going to be wet enough so that he can use it for gel for his hair, or is Haaland going to be able to kind of, be on the score sheet again?
I think this game is so important who scores first, because if Arsenal score first, they will sit back because they have something to protect, and any chance they can to build on that from counter-attacking, they'll take, or building from set pieces, which is a strength for them this season, as it is for Man United. So I think if they get the first goal, they will get a result. I think City have to get the first goal in this game, and I feel like they will. The home advantage and the fact that you look at their last three fixtures, the Arsenal winning a trophy, Liverpool knocking them out of the FA Cup, and then now Chelsea in the league, when Chelsea is also fighting for Champions League. It's three big games, three cup finals for the opposition as well, and all big six teams. And they got the better of all of them without conceding, 9 goals without reply. That is very impressive to be doing at this stage of the season. And to be facing Arsenal now, having the week off as well, does play an influence for City. The mind games of the form going into this game after the loss to Bournemouth for Arsenal is also playing on City's favour. And I think a game like this is where Haaland will step up. And fortunately for City,
you don't have to just
you don't need to rely on him now, because you've got Semenyo coming on the wing. Doku can create something magic, Shirky, and then you've got your left back O'Reilly that's popping in the box.
I mean,
and people can't even mark him.
And I just want to say that as much as Haaland hasn't been on the score sheet, I would still argue that his contribution to the team has been just as important, because if you watch him off the ball, like, honestly, he's holding people up. And also, he doesn't care how many. Sometimes there could be 3 guys on him, and he's like, I'm Haaland. I'm about to bulldoze through you guys. And he does. And I think that, especially this season, we've seen the way in which he's played his game. He's improved his game a lot. He's not just waiting there and just being like, ping, let me put the goal in, like the ball in the back of the net.
How good was his defensive contributions over the weekend?
The
guy was filling in his own third, like, not the final third, the initial third. And he's just like dispossessing Chelsea players like it was amazing, actually. Like I've never seen that from Haaland before. So that's a nice little asset sort of that is added to his to his quiver.
Agreed. I mean, he was even like at times when Doku or Semenyo is kind of caught upfield, he comes into the wing and he covers them. Like he just make sure he comes to the wing and he covers their man until that they get into position. So it's really impressive. Like his off the ball play, I have noticed that as well. It's really good to see. Ziad, in terms of Arsenal, tell me, what do you guys need to do? Is it draw enough? And what do you guys need to do in the game? Who plays, especially in the midfield, to kind of help you kind of break City down?
The new lineup just came out now for today's game. So the standard midfield, Zubomendi, Rice, Eze is in. But Odegaard, Timber, Saka, Calafiori are out of the squad. So they're not in at all, which means they could be in contention for the weekend, but they might not be. So yeah, it looks like that's the midfield options they have. I don't like Havertz in midfield. I never did. I prefer if he's going to play up front, if he does play. So that looks like the setup. But
hasn't Timber been injured?
Timber hasn't played in a while. He's still out of the squad completely. He's not even on the bench. So yeah, I mean, I have said earlier. I didn't get you there.
That'll be a good person to get back, I think, Timber.
Yeah, it depends how fit they are, because there's no point to come back and then you pull up halfway through. You need to be fit enough to play.
I know.
So that I have said earlier that he thinks that Arsenal are going to play to win. I sure hope so, because that's the only way. There's no point to go and set up for a draw, because that hasn't worked in the past. But ultimately, Arsenal haven't won at the Etihad in 11 years. So I don't see how, in the current situation, with the form that we're in and the confidence that we have, or the lack of, and City's rise up in terms of their confidence and their form, it's hard to see where result comes from if we haven't won at that place for 11 years. So you literally have to go make history if you are going to get 3 points. But in recent fixtures in the league, Arsenal actually did okay against City in the last 5 games. They got 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. So it's fairly even on that front. The biggest difference is the timing of the fixture and what's happened in the last 3 to 4 weeks per se when it comes into it. For me, I don't think it's a title decider at all. Because we haven't won there in 11 years, I don't think we expect to go win there. So it's going to be the games against teams like Bournemouth. If we don't win those games, that's going to decide the title. The title's not going to be decided win or lose or whatever in this game, because you guys talk about confidence, right? If we lose that game, how much worse can it get? It's already apparently down because we've been knocked out of all these other tournaments and so on. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to what they do in the games afterwards, and can they hold City off? Because we've seen City do this every year, right? It's not like it's new that they come into their own in the back end. They're good at chasing teams down. They've got all the experience. They've got a manager who's done it before multiple times. They've got the belief in the squad, and it's always better to chase. It's always better to be playing up than it is to be trying to hold people off, right? Because then there's so many things that go through your mind. Do you defend? Do you attack? How much do you? And we've seen Arsenal actually struggle with that in recent times, knowing when to attack and actually try and put their foot down.
Yeah.
Or, like everyone used to say at the beginning of the season was the handbrake, right? When to put it down and when to pull it up. And just figuring those things out, especially in the games to come. So at best, I think probably they'll get a draw. That's what the head is saying, looking at the form and stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised to see us lose as well. It wouldn't surprise me at all, considering the history of us playing at that ground and the recent form. But as a fan, optimistically, I'd obviously want go in trying to win every game and wanting to win every game. So, I think all in all, considering everything, coming away with at least a point would be phenomenal. That's how I see it. I mean, I'm sure we're going to go into predictions at some point.
Yeah, I'm right now actually.
I have
before
we get to predictions.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I just think
you can go ahead.
a level-headed Arsenal fan. It's crazy. We don't generally encounter such level-headed Arsenal fans, I must be honest.
I try.
You got him on a good day. You got him on a good day.
I'm game 32, bro. I'm fairly consistent.
Siad, quick one. I mentioned Noni Madueke earlier.
Yeah.
If you had to call it, do you start Max Dowman on Sunday against Man City?
Whoa.
No, not at all. They'll kick him. They'll just kick him out of the game. It doesn't make sense to throw a kid in and put all your hopes and expectations on a 16-year-old away at the Etihad. It makes no sense. That's where you need experience to step up and show what they got. So for me, there's 2 players that need to be strictly off the bench, and that's Martinelli and Max Dowman. They need to be used as super subs, and that's where they've been doing well. Impact, right? They for me are more finishers than they are starting caliber players. And you saw with I think it's both Madueke and Dowman, their work off the ball isn't up to scratch, man. And if you're gonna have to track O'Reilly, I don't know who you put there, but you need to be a bit more smarter on the defensive side of things to be able to track him. Because against Bournemouth, Madueke didn't track the left back of Bournemouth, Trufe, and he got that easy cross away, right? So Dowman, the same, he's not tracking back well enough and he's losing the ball under pressure. And City would take him out, especially as a kid. I mean, I know if I had a guy like Kusanov in my team and I see Dowman starting, man, I'm telling that guy, listen, take his legs out. No ref is giving Kusanov a yellow card in the first 20 minutes at the Etihad. He's pretty much got, some time to put in a few hits. It's like, it's so easy to do so. The experienced guys have to step up and protect the kid. And he can get thrown on late and do his cameo thing, which I think he's doing quite well. And speaking about kids, the Liverpool one, fantastic player, I must say. I think England is quite exciting if you're England at the moment, because you could easily have Rio on the left, Darman on the right, and the way they play with the ball, it's refreshing to see. I mean, we see it with Shirky as well. We're seeing these guys who are a bit maverick, We want that in football again, man. I tired of this robotic stuff that everyone is doing, and it was across 100%. The league. We need more individuals who are willing to express themselves and dribble, take guys on. I don't care if you lose the ball, attempt to dribble, and so quite exciting players, but I wouldn't start them. Experience first, especially in a big away game.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna. If he's on O'Reilly's side, he's just half O'Reilly's size as well. Shame, poor guy.
Exactly.
It'll be a nice visual, though, I must say. Hey, talk to me about some predictions. What do you think the score is going to be, please?
I'm gonna be boring over here. I'm gonna be vanilla as hell. I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw. That's I think that both of them are gonna try to win the game, but I don't know. I'm not seeing a winner over the weekend.
Okay, let's get this vanillaness out the way. Ziad, your predictions?
Ash set me up because she said I'm level-headed. I wanted to do something risky. So
you can say your team will win. You're
back your boys. Boys. Come on.
Like I said earlier, the head is saying we'll take a draw, right? And the loss is, if you're gonna do percentages, the loss is probably like a 60 to 70% probability. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I'm gonna say 3-1 to Arsenal. And the reason I say that is because of what Mick said when he said whoever scores first. If Arsenal do get that first goal, they get a second, but City are going to be chasing with a score 2-1. That third goal is going to come in garbage time. It's going to be a 96, 97 minute. Someone just running all the way afterwards because City's trying to attack. So it's not going to be like a 3-1. Oh my word, they played well. It's going to be like, oh my word, they nicked the goal at the end, and the scoreline looks a lot worse than it actually is. So that's what I'm going to go with. Keep things interesting, especially after Mr. Vanilla over there.
I like it. Migs, your prediction for the game?
It's so funny because I actually think something very similar, but the other way around. I see City scoring the first goal, getting a second, and then I see Arsenal pulling one back, and then they're going to be pushing like crazy, almost scoring that equalizer. Tassel hopes are on the line, and then on the break, there's going to be a third for City.
Yeah, so Turkey to score from like the halfway line.
That same kind of thing. That's what I think. 3-1 to City.
I like it.
But first goal is very important.
Yeah. Fully agree. Ash, your prediction?
I'm going to say 2-0 to City.
Okay.
Same as I just at the moment a question was also posed to me, like, who from Arsenal are you threatened by from an attacking perspective? Okay. And I give a lot of props to Jokerej in the sense of, like, he obviously gets he's the top goal scorer, if I'm not mistaken, for Arsenal this season. So obviously that's great, right? But I don't necessarily I'm like, oh, we got to watch out for this guy. Oh, we got to watch out for this guy. Like, I have felt that Arsenal have actually done really well as a team this entire season. It's been really like a full-on team performance. You haven't had that standout, whereas like when we had, even if you just look like the treble, for example, Haaland was that standout player. It was like, how do you stop him?
Roger,
like that kind of thing. I don't.
Bernardo that time,
yeah, exactly. Okay, that was like, a whole different time, right? So I'm like being very optimistic about a clean sheet, but everything that we discussed, and again, obviously, if Arsenal get the first goal, there goes my prediction. But I just feel cautiously optimistic at this point. I think if we were playing at the Emirates, we would have been having a very different conversation. And I was just glad that we got through this season at the Emirates, and it wasn't that bloody 5-1. Because honestly, I think that's probably the angriest I've been in recent times. So, but I'm gonna.
On that point, I just I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like, we are a team. We don't have a real player who can kind of just grab the game and make it happen like Haaland would. It's not saying that the other players didn't do well, but you have a player in your team who can carry you, and say, listen, I'm going to put you on my back, and that's Haaland for City. In the past, it was Salah at Liverpool, right? He literally carried them to a title last season, and he put them on their back, and that's something that Arsenal don't have. We rely more on the collective. which is a
Which
good
can't
thing
be
sometimes. Like
pros and cons.
yes, so
Yeah.
like Riley saying there in the chat that we have threat all over the pitch. It's given us value, yes, because the goals are shared, assists are shared. But sometimes when it comes down to the wire and it's the last stretch, you kind of need that player who's gonna just lift the whole team and grab them and take them over the line.
Be brave.
And I mean, someone's got 6 to 8 games to really show they that person. Otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be a long couple of weeks and months to get through. But yeah, I agree with that sentiment.
The problem with not having a player that does step up is you have players that are too afraid to take the responsibility and they're constantly passing it on, which is why you get so many back passes and
they're not passing it on, they're passing it back.
If you had those players that do if you had those players that do step up and that can win a game by themselves, then the team will be more inclined to pass to them. But now when you don't have that as a collective, it's like, who's going to step up? And
it comes down to like, what's the pattern here? And if the pattern gets broken, who's going to grab it? Like I see Remy saying Havertz, and Havertz is actually a good shout, but again, in the wrong position, not from midfield. If you put Havertz up front, he can actually be that guy. He's shown it. He comes up clutch in a lot of moments, especially towards the end of games with key goals and contributions. But it's not to that level, man. It's not like you're going to put him in from the start and he's going to do it. And that's definitely what we are missing.
Can I add one more thing? Sorry. Do you know what that person is for you? Is actually corner kicks. Because I say this not as a joke, but when Arsenal do get a corner kick or a set piece, we get that fear you would get when a good player gets the ball and is on an attack. And you're like, this guy's going to do something.
Something's going to happen.
When you get that set piece,
it used to be like that. I don't think. I think that's kind of worn away a little bit, especially with all the negative noise around it. I wished as a fan in that moment that we embraced it more. And we're like, you know what? I don't care what John Obi Mikel is saying. I don't care what anyone is saying about corners and own goals. Listen, that's what we need and that's what we use. Like, just use it. So we actually haven't scored from a corner in a while. It's been a while since the corners.
You know what, Siad? You guys stole my thunder because my prediction was going to be a 1-0 Arsenal win from a corner. That was genuinely was going to be my prediction. A Gabriel header from a corner, taking Arsenal back to what they were doing in the first half of the season that served them so well.
And give me your own goal, I'll be happy.
It's actually going to happen now.
Everyone,
put it out into the universe.
Everyone was saying, Arsenal, own goal. We haven't scored our own goal. Like, they took it off the board. It was our top scorer for a while. And then it's off the board. Like, come on, man. Give it back to us, please.
You know what? It's going to be interesting to see what happens in this game. It's going to be a massive game. It's to decide it or not. I'm going to go 1-0 corner Arsenal. And the last, luckily at the beginning of this episode, I did not give a hard out like I usually do. So we're free at the moment. I didn't say we're going to finish before an hour and then go over. So that's fine. I did, however, forget to say that we're also streaming on Facebook. So we are. Hello, everybody on Facebook. Thank you. Sorry about that, AF. I know you told me before we went live, and then I completely forgot. But in any case, the last segment of the show is we're all going to do Manchester United against Chelsea. Kind of, I wouldn't say a European Champions League kind of exit, because I think still both are kind of in for it. But Chelsea have been in a shocking state so far this in the last couple of weeks or a couple of months, maybe since the turn of the year. They've had very, very bad form, akin to another London team. But if you see yourself, first of all, is Manu going to be back? And if not, are you guys going to struggle on the weekend?
So the reason why I didn't play on Monday night was because of a minor injury. So I am a bit optimistic that he will be back for the weekend. And I think that will be a very good return because, like Mig said at the beginning, like you have Ugarte next to Casemiro. You can't have two of the same type of player. You need a passer, you need a ball carrier, you need somebody that's going to sort of journey with the ball all over the pitch. And I think that's where we struggled the most on Monday night. The fact that we had nothing in midfield to sort of distribute to the different areas. Bruno Fernandes had to then drop back and be that quarterback
Become the
most of the
last
time.
man.
And yeah, so I mean, like if anything, if Kobe's not back, I think Carrick has to be a bit more brave, like play Mason Mount again, like in that like sort of
Yes,
deeper role.
now we're talking.
Something like that, just to get some fluidity in the middle of the park, which I think like we definitely need, especially against the Chelsea team. Enzo Fernandez is going to be back. He's probably going to have a bit of a fiery head because he's been upset about being suspended unfairly. So yeah, there's a lot of ingredients in this one. Chelsea wins this. It's I think a 3-point gap or a 4-point gap. So the Champions League spots are very much alive in this, like with the result of this fixture.
Yeah, Migs, would you like to see that? Would you prefer to see kind of a 4-3-3 situation where Casemiro sits and then Bruno and Mount are kind of just ahead of him? Or would you think that you will start, if Kobe is not fit, you will start with Ugarte and Casemiro again?
I would take Mount. I'm a fan of Mount. I think he's an energy horse, and he's one of our best, especially on the press when he is playing. When he was playing with under Amorim as one of those 10s, I think we were actually a pretty decent team with him leading the press. He was so good and underrated. So if we have him in the midfield and we have that energy, he can definitely supplement what Ugarte didn't provide us in the last game. If we start Ugarte, our stats, I don't know if you've even seen this, our stats when Ugarte started, I don't think we've won a game this whole season when he started. Like every result where he started, we haven't been able to win. He's literally, and it's not always because of him, it's just so happens.
Shame.
Yeah, shame. But I think starting him would be the worst thing as well. Like they need to just also listen to the fan base. Nobody in the fan base is saying you should play Ugarte. I haven't seen anybody.
I don't think that Carrick is reading comments on social media to get ideas as to who to play, to be honest. So I think that's wishful thinking.
But I think a game like this, especially with Chelsea, we love to draw against each other. And it's just screaming out for a draw right now. And I don't think United would be too upset with a draw. Top 5 in the Champions League. You get a point away at Stamford Bridge when there's now then 5 games to go. I think they'll take it, but I think they'll play for a win for sure, and they can get it. United can definitely get a win. I will definitely predict a win for sure, but I'm feeling it could be a draw, another 1-1 draw. They've had a few 1-1 draws. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
I'm a bit nervy about our centre-back pairing though. Like we'll have Lenny Otto and Aiden Evan. I like Aiden Evan. I think he was a fantastic buy. I think he's a really good defender. I'm a bit more worried about Lenny Otto. I think Otto, along with Ugarte on Monday night, I think they were 2 worst players.
Definitely.
And
liability.
I don't know like what's happened to his confidence, because when he came into the team in the first place initially, he was so good. He looked confident on the ball. He was making these tackles that looked like amazing. It was clean tackles every single time. And now he just looks so indecisive. He looks unsure. I don't think that there's any confidence in him.
I think the 3 suited him.
That's the thing that's making me nervy.
I think being in a 3 suited him a bit better, especially as a youngster. When you have two people to kind of have your back and you're allowed to press and make those front foot tackles, I think it suits him much better than being on the back foot and kind of reacting to things and just having one person next to him. So yeah, that's going to be very, very interesting to see who. Well, I guess it will be Yoro and Heaven. So to start the youngsters in the centre backs against Chelsea, but Ziad, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do your favorite thing in the world, and that is to bash Chelsea. What's going on there? What's going on there? And do you think they have any chance to beat United this weekend?
I thought, where did that come from, bro? Last week, I actually had a Chelsea fan on, and we discussed this at length. The thing I don't like about Chelsea is just the chaos.
Yeah,
it's just the chaos, right? I mean, you're bringing in all these players, you're changing things all the time, you're changing your manager. It's just wild, like the things that they do and the decisions they make makes no sense. But honestly, they've lost their last 3 Premier League games. They've also been losing at home quite a bit.
Mhm.
United have better form coming in. So the amount of changes Chelsea makes to their lineup, I feel United have the edge in this game. And for me, if I had to really say where it's going to be won and lost, essentially, United have the better goalkeeper. That's it. And I think that's where they win the game. They just have a better goalkeeper, more composed. And even though the central area was a bit of a struggle against Leeds, that's where they got broken through a bit more. If they can just figure that part out against Chelsea, I think they'll be safe to, at minimum, get a draw. But I see United being able to get a win here fairly easily.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Riley's saying that Maguire is bigger. Maguire is the biggest United miss, and unironically, I think that might be true. Besides, of course, Kobe, because I mean, he's been decent this season, hasn't he, Maguire?
Yes.
Coming up with
He's
the
going to
goal
get a
here and
World
there.
Cup call-up because of how good he's been. I feel.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
He's
so.
going to be in the
Yeah.
mix, in the
For
squad,
sure he's gonna
definitely.
He'll be in the
There's the
mix.
experience factor, man. There's the experience
Yeah.
factor that
And in a
that's
tournament
massive, man.
where you need something, you could throw Maguire on and put him up front. You can do that. In a tournament, if you're losing the game and you need to just risk it, try something. Let's throw Maguire on. You know he's
And-
going
and
to cause
let's-
havoc in the box.
Let's remember, England are going to have Declan Rice to deliver those set pieces. So if he's got
That too.
Maguire's big head to aim at,
Yeah.
it's a win-win for everyone, bro.
It's a penalty
It's
every
actually-
time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny.
It's a cheat code for England.
It's funny that you guys say that, actually, because I have this United fan that I usually watch the games with, and I actually say that exact thing. I actually when it's
Hey,
time
hold
that
on.
United
Don't lie to us here,
What?
please. You're saying
do you
it's
mean?
someone that you watch the game with, but it's actually yourself. You that United fan undercover. Don't lie.
Yes,
He just loves watching United games, but I can back his story up. He does have a United fan that he watches the
Thank you.
games with. But
Thank
that's
you.
just because he loves Manchester United so much, and that's going to be the team he supports next season in the Premier League.
Listen,
Stay tuned for
the biggest auction in the Premier League, they say, is Andoni Iraola, but I think it's Riaz, bro. Whose jersey is he gonna pick for the Premier League next season? I think that's the biggest story
I
to
have
follow.
so many for you, Riaz. Migs has so many for you. I mean, you can come take your pick whenever you want.
We got
Just
you.
wear the jersey with pride.
You know what? That will be for the end of the season's problems.
Listen, chances to switch your team never come around, like ever. It's a once in a
agree.
lifetime opportunity because you're
And it's
not
just
from
one
North
season,
London,
okay?
so you
It's
got the
just alone.
freedom.
You'll just
You
be
got the
on
freedom.
loan, really.
It
That's all
could
it
be a
is.
loan with
I like that.
a buy
I like
option. You never know.
No buy option. No buy option allowed. Actually, maybe you know what? I'll sneak it in the fine print. Some buy options in the fine print. But only you guys need to know about this. It doesn't go on the internet. We don't get it. It doesn't go out of the store. Okay? The buy option is in the fine print. Anyways, let's get into the predictions for this weekend's game: Chelsea versus Manchester United. I'll start us off because I went last time. I think it's going to be a 3-0 win to Manchester United because that's the team that I'm going to support next year.
Get in.
No. I think the Chelsea are just all over the place. It's difficult to see kind of how, like Siad says, it's a mess over there. It really is a mess over there. I don't know about covering the championship. I'll have to see about that. Maybe I won't want to be covering the championship, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Chelsea are just a mess, and the goalkeeper story is a very, very good point. So I'm going to go 3-0 Manchester United, as long as he starts in Mbeumo and not Sesko. If Sesko starts, United are going to lose. I'm putting that out there.
Okay.
It happened on Monday, and that's just the precedent that's been set now because Sesko started, United lost. And now if Sesko starts again, United are going to lose. AF, tell me I'm wrong.
You are wrong. I'm not taking Monday night's loss as any sort of evidence against Sesko. I think that he's still amazing, and I think that the change that will be made is Ahmad to the bench, Mbeumo starts, and Sesko still starts up top. But yeah, I'm backing the boys 2-1 win because I think João Pedro is still going to be too much to deal with.
Okay, fair enough. Ash, your thoughts? What's your predictions on this game?
I was going to say 2-1 as well. But I'm also feeling like Chelsea are such a difficult team to predict.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, what's up there? You know, like they have major commitment issues, that club. They just can't stick with anyone. It's just like, guys, what's going on? And then Liam has been an interesting character, I think. I just...
Is it Liam Delap?
That guy, I forgot about him, my bad. That number 9 curse for Chelsea continues there. I just find Chelsea, like you said, chaos all over the place, very difficult to like jot down what are they going to bring. I think having Enzo is a big plus, because I think they actually needed him over the weekend. But I think that Man United will... I'm just sorry. I'm just thinking about the fact that if this is another loss for Chelsea, like how many is that in a row? That's not looking good. So I'm still going to give Man United the win. Let me just pick a team. So I'm also going to say 2-1 to Man United. Can we have the same predictions? Is that fine?
Of course.
Okay.
100%.
There's only so many combinations. So
agreed.
reasonable combinations.
Migs, end us off on a high. I know you're gonna end us off on a high. Tell me what to do after the game.
There are definitely factors to consider, which we've all discussed. The midfield, if Manu starts or not, if Ugarte starts, our centre-back pairing, there's a mistake in there, 100%. We can concede not just one, we can concede multiple because of that. Laumans has been fantastic for us, but at the same time, there's only so much he can do. We don't have a lot of clean sheets, and that's not because of him. It's because of mistakes we have made in the middle of the park or defensively. So there's a lot of those factors. Also, Enzo being back, big difference to the Chelsea performance against City. So if Chelsea do start well, like they did against City, and get that goal that they didn't get, then that brings the mentality for United, like we had against Leeds, where we're more likely to concede a second than to get a goal back, especially in that first half. We're really good at coming back from conceding. We've done that quite well, especially second half. So I wouldn't be too worried that we can't get a result. But yeah, all these things are in my mind. That's why I'm like, I feel like it's going to be a draw, but not going to happen. I'm going to say 3-1 to Man United. Yes.
I like that.
3-1 to United, 3-1 to City. Same scores.
Oh, a great day.
I love the symmetry there. Yeah. And a great day for the Manchester Derby, I guess. Both of you guys are going to win. So both 3-1 wins. So that's going to be great for the household as well. So that's awesome to know. But we obviously it's 1 hour 20 when you tune into the Sportycast, when you tune into 3FOUR3 and I'm hosting, you know it's going to be over 1.5 hours, or at least close to it. But thank you guys for joining me this evening. Thank you everyone in the chat, Riley, for coming in. Ramiz, obviously, always around. Everybody, thank you guys for chatting to us and talking to us about the weekend's football. And thank you guys for joining me as well. Where can the people find you? Ziad, are you tweeting? What are you doing nowadays on the socials?
Firstly, I'm very disappointed. I didn't get the opportunity to give a prediction, and I had quite a tasty one. No.
I was lost. I thought the mix was lost. Tell me,
you just want to write me off because I said you're going to be up for auction. But I actually going 4-2 Man United. I think with all the refereeing decisions that have gone against them, they owed a red card, and who better to give them a red card than Chelsea, who are up there with playing with 10 men often.
Of the season, so
Michael Oliver is refereeing this match. There's absolutely no chance he gets up in our favor.
4-2. A lot of what Mick said could happen. They will concede. So 4-2. The red card's in there, so quite excited about that to see if I can get that prediction right. I love predicting stuff and guessing. So yeah, that's fun. Speaking about tweeting and stuff, we're on all the socials as always, updating all the global sport results. We had the Masters last week, which was fantastic. Rory McIlroy going back to back this week. There's some more golf with the RBC Heritage. We've got the NBA playoff starting. Amazing overtime game today between Charlotte and Miami. Miami lost, so my team is out. But I'll still be following. There's baseball happening every day, some interesting thing. And then, lots of sport. Obviously, we'll have Champions League news to update on tomorrow. And just check us out on all the socials and you'll get all your global sports news daily from me.
Lovely stuff. Thanks so much for that, Ziad. Apologies for the prediction mishap there. There was so much going on. AF, what's happening? What's happening your side? Anything happening on the comic side? Anything happening on the YouTube channel?
No, nothing at the moment. Comic-Con's only
Okay.
at the end of the month, so
Okay.
then all the things will start happening around that
Are you
time.
gonna tag me along? Am I allowed to tag along? What's happening?
Do you have a media pass? If you wanted to, you could have told me like 3 months ago, and I could have tried to get you a media pass, but you didn't.
Oh, 3 months. I didn't even know this was a thing 3 months ago, but okay.
This seems like
next
an
time.
offline conversation.
Yeah, I was
Anyway.
about to say the same thing. This looks like Riaz has to come through the door and just deal with this face to face. Something
Once
building up.
again, it's not going to happen.
Okay, AF, give me your things. Where can people find you on the socials?
Yeah, no, at AF Parker 642 on all social media platforms. Yeah, probably just going to be a bit nervous about the weekend. But before that, apparently the Avengers Doomsday trailer is dropping tomorrow, so I'm going to be psyched about that.
April 16th, yeah.
Interesting things for happening there in that one. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they'll. Okay. Anyway, offline conversation. The Manchester Derby 2.0. Migs and Ash, thank you so much. It's always lovely having you guys on with us. We appreciate you guys coming so much. Where can the people find you, and where can the people follow you on the socials?
Thank you guys so much for having us.
Yes,
We always
thank
have so
you.
much fun. So on the socials, you can find us on TikTok. It is at the Manchester Derby 2.0. Actually, that's TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. On Instagram,
lovely.
it's at the Manchester Derby 3.0. So just the one up. Yeah, that's where you can find it.
Anything big coming up, guys?
Dude, besides your birthday.
They're thinking about what they can
birthday.
actually share.
End of the season, you know.
Yeah, like
nothing
possible
mad.
title winners. I mean, it could happen. We'll see what happens this weekend.
Lovely stuff. Well, once again, thank you guys. We appreciate you guys coming on. It's always a great time having you guys on. And thank you guys for watching in the chat. Thank you guys for always contributing. We appreciate you guys, and we'll be back next week, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Here on the Sportycast YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining us.